What's up, YouTube? It's the Bearded Bass Man, and for this adventure we decided to head up north to the big water, Lake Erie, more specifically Presque Isle. The portion of Presque Isle we decided to fish is actually a pretty well-known spot by those who fish the area, and it's actually a big drop-off separating the main channel coming from the main lake into the bay. This time of the year, especially right before the spawn, smallmouth will actually use the main channel, kind of a highway, to come into the more shallow breaks of the bay. Pretty much all we were doing was we were set right up on the edge of the drop off, just kind of fan casting and dragging our baits back up into the shallow areas. Throughout the video, the audio is kind of garbage because it was extremely windy that day, so a lot of the audio is unusable, so I'll be doing a lot of voiceovers just trying to explain what was going on and the techniques we were using at the times. This was actually us coming from the ramp, making our way over into the main channel to come into Presque Isle. As you can see, well, water conditions weren't terrible. The waves weren't really kicking up yet. There were some small rollers, but it wasn't anything that a normal sized boat could handle. But as you'll see towards the end of this video, things drastically changed over the course of maybe 6 or 7 hours. This catch right here was actually just using a small 1/8 ounce Ned rig, casting it, like I said, over into that drop off, dragging it up over the side. And this particular catch, I actually got the thump right as I made it to the top of the drop off, but as you can see, it definitely wasn't what I was expecting to be at the other end. As with the walleye, um, same thing here. Ned rig, casting through the drop off, dragging it. But this one actually came almost on the fall. I think I maybe one or two pops, and this one was on there. But once again, as you'll see, it's definitely not the targeted species. Now this catch actually belongs to one of my buddies, and pretty much the same thing, just dragging a Ned rig through the flat pretty close to the drop off, and it actually caught him completely off guard and actually ended up being his PB smallmouth. This was my last decent catch of the trip. Just ended up being a shade under 4 pounds. Ned rig, drop off, dragging up. This one was actually at the end of the cast, so wasn't on the drop, but there wasn't much movement needed to get this one to actually commit. And remember what I said about the water conditions. This is actually us coming into the main channel from the main lake. This was at the beginning of the trip, roughly about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. And as you can tell, things definitely got more hairy towards the end of our trip, which I think when we pulled out, it was roughly about 4 o'clock. So, in that period of time, it's just goes to show you what the weather on the big water can actually end up doing, and how quickly water conditions as well as these waves can change. And if you're not prepared for it, it's definitely a big eye-opener. You've definitely got to be mindful of what the weather's doing on Lake Erie, especially close to coastal lines, because the water is not very deep right there. And as soon as that wind starts howling, it does not take long for the whitecaps to start getting bigger and bigger. Now, fortunately for us, we weren't very far from the ramp, and other than just having to slow idle back to the ramp which we left, aside from some wet clothes and maybe a little bit of bruised ego on my part for not paying more attention to what the weather was doing, we made it just fine. But once again, I guess we were pretty lucky that things could have gotten way worse, especially if we'd have had to make a lot further run from Presque Isle to the ramp we launched out of. Catch for the bearded bass man. I'm the bearded bass man with a rod in my hand. Turn the throttle, let it roar. Gonna chase that slam from the creek to the river's bend. You can bet on the brand when the cameras roll. I'm the bearded bass man. I'm the bearded bass man. Yeah, the bearded bass man. And here we are, safely going back into the ramp, a little cove, a little windbreak. And that pretty much does it for our day at Erie.